On October 7th, 2016, the Episcopal Knights football team played the first on-campus sporting event at Episcopal since the epic flood of 2016. The massive floods that affected the Baton Rouge community impacted the Episcopal community as well. Here's the story of how we rose to the challenge of rebuilding. After the storm, school was canceled for a week as caring for families, assessing damage, and rebuilding took center stage. The lower school and Penniman Hall sustained the most damage on the academic side. Classrooms and offices were moved to other buildings on campus with help from students, teachers, faculty, staff, coaches, alumni, and families of students. The athletic facilities were heavily impacted with substantial damage and interruptions to all sports. The process of rebuilding took months, but one by one, Episcopal teams returned to our campus to practice and compete. The football field was completely underwater and lost all electrical power and all of the football pads and equipment. The annual scrimmage and jamboree were canceled, and the Knights practiced and lifted weights at Parkview Baptist. The Knights' first 3 home games had to be relocated to other area stadiums. The track team lost most of its equipment too, including the pads for high jump and pole vault events. The cross-country team practiced elsewhere while damage to the track was assessed. The boys and girls gyms both took on at least a foot of water, and all the floors were destroyed. The girls volleyball team practiced off campus and played all home games on the road. The boys and girls basketball teams, as well as the wrestling and powerlifting teams, were all affected. Only the girls basketball team will be able to practice and play in its usual facility as the new girls gym floor was prepped for a November 1st return. The baseball and softball fields were also completely underwater, and both sustained significant damage. Tarps, padding, dugouts, and our electrical supply were damaged as water rose as high as the roof of the first base dugout on the softball field. Both facilities will be ready for spring workouts and games. The Episcopal boys and girls swim teams are back practicing daily at the Episcopal Aquatic Center after spending the first month of the season at Bocage Racket Club while the pool underwent repairs to the pumps and filters. The tennis courts were also underwater, and all nets, ball machines, balls, and rackets were lost, as was the electrical power for the court's lights. Most of the equipment used to cut and maintain our fields and facilities was also lost, as were team buses. The damage to our athletic facilities was extensive, but the strength and commitment of our athletes, teams, coaches, and families was legendary. Using social media and existing contact lists, our coaches quickly mobilized our athletes to help get the campus and ultimately the homes surrounding the school and the homes of our Episcopal family cleaned up, cleared out, and ready for renovation. Some worked for 5 or 6 days straight, forgoing practice and academics to help those who were less fortunate. And others noticed too. Accolades flowed through social and mainstream media, and families, coaches, and administrators sang the praises of our student athletes. Former Knight Megan O'Leary, who was at the Olympic Games in Brazil representing the U.S. during the flood, sent a video to the Episcopal family with a plea to unite together, the battle cry of our rebuilding efforts.
As an athlete, my experience there at Episcopal truly shaped me into becoming the person I am today, and I believe led me to become an Olympian. Let's get these kids back onto the court, onto the field, into the pool. Let's have a great season. Go Knights. We are stronger, united, and I know that we can all, if we band together, will help the campus bounce back from the flood. Thanks so much, and go Knights.
The road to recovery has been long and hard. The damage to the school, its athletic facilities, and surrounding neighborhood was substantial. But the Episcopal community, particularly our students, truly united together, put their personal heartache aside and got out and helped. They didn't need to be told what to do. They just went out and did it. As a result, one of the darkest hours in our school's 50-year history was quickly turned into one of our proudest moments. I'm Kaylee Hartung, a 2003 graduate of Episcopal, and I have never been prouder to call myself an Episcopal Knight.